Hi, thank you for screening Pangandoy. My name is Hiyasmin Saturay. I am the filmmaker, and I would just like to talk a little bit about the film. Just a brief background about myself. I currently live in Long Beach, California, but I grew up in the Philippines. Both my parents were human rights activists, and when I was young, they were both fighting against, they were organizing against a big mining company that was trying to take over our island in Oriental Mindoro. And because of that, it was during the time of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, and she started the counterinsurgency program, Oplan Bantay Laya, which really targeted human rights activists, environmental defenders, and organizers who were standing up against this mining company. And about 40 of my parents' colleagues were killed because of the counterinsurgency program, and they weren't doing anything but defending the land and defending the community. So that's the reason why we had to leave when I was 15, and we joined the community of refugees in the Netherlands. So in a way, creating Pangandoy is my going home project. It was the first time that I was able to go back after 9 years of being away from the homeland. Um, and the reason why the reason why I wanted to do the project when I went back to the Philippines is that I really wanted to reconnect with my roots, with my history. The context is very similar. Um, it was very similar things were happening to the Manobo community that I went to. There were threats of logging and mining companies coming into that area. But even more than reconnecting with my roots and understanding my own history, I think it was also important for me to just go there and really understand at a deeper level what I'm fighting for, what we're fighting for as activists, as organizers in our community. I work a lot with migrants and Filipino high school students here, and we always talk about what's happening in the Philippines, but I think it's different to really see it for yourself and understand what people are going through and to live it. What are the people going through in their day to day lives? So the process of the creating the film, I actually went there for a whole month first, and I left my camera in the city because I really just wanted to live with the people, and so I integrated with the Manobo communities for a whole month. I ate what they ate and then slept in their houses. I tried to learn their language or just learned how to communicate to them and learned about their lives, about how important their land is for them, how important the ancestral land is, and how important it is to protect it. So I think that really helped in creating the film. So when I picked up my camera and I went back up, it was easier for people trusted me to. They told me their stories, and I told them my story as well, and I think it allowed us to communicate and to understand each other at a much deeper level. Um, and then the other aspect of the film that I really wanted to talk about was that the other reason that I wanted to create a film is I wanted to share the experience, but also to really bring out the voices of the Manobos. Um, it's very rare here in the U.S. It's very rare to hear the voices of the indigenous people of the Philippines straight from themselves. We always see their dances. We see them in the news. We see them in the festivals, the cultural festivals happening in the Philippines. We see them in museums. But it's very, very rare to hear their voices and their stories. And it's very rare that people really connect the cultural aspects, the cultural things like their clothings and their dances to the struggles that they're going through. So I really wanted to bring that out. Um, Unfortunately, currently, the schools, you saw in the film that the schools are being militarized. But now it's much, much worse. The militarization has intensified, and when I left, about 300 Lumads evacuated because of the militarization of their communities and their schools. Right now, there are about 7,000 Lumads who are forced out of their homes because of militarization. And I think it's very clear why the military is there and what they want from the land, what they want from the communities. And I think Rhea can give more updates on what's happening, but I really call on everyone to give their whole support. I think first of all, just spreading the word and having our campaigns here to save the schools and stop the Lumad killings is very important to pressure the government and even to show them that we across the world, not just Filipinos, but other indigenous peoples and other communities are watching the Philippine government and the military, and we know what they are doing and why. And of course, secondly, it's also very important is to support them materially. It takes a lot to feed 7,000 people who are forced out of their homes. It's very important to also send them donations because we are much more privileged here. For them, they need the very basics of life, food, rice, and even seeds so they can plant some crops wherever they are, even if it's in the evacuation center or even when they go back to their communities, so they can jumpstart their harvest, their crops again. Because leaving their communities, it's a very hard decision because it means leaving your livelihoods behind. It's living the whole life that you're used to. So I think just giving that support would be very, very helpful for them. So I hope you have a fruitful program for today, and I trust that Rhea will be able to answer more of your questions and provide a better update about what's happening since she's there more recently than I was. So thank you again for screening the film, and keep in touch. If you have other questions, feel free to email me. So thank you.